We're back. It's been a long time since we did one of these sit downs with you all. And we're back for a special reason. Simple Man Distillery has come out with a new bottle, guys. If you've watched our channel for the longest, you've seen us with 3 of their bottles. They had a vodka, a gin, and a rum.
No.
Right?
No. Completely wrong. You stand.
Vodka.
Brandy.
I'm sorry. Because the brandy was an apple brandy. The gin was a hibiscus gin. And the vodka was
Made with peaches.
And that brings us here today. We're not using that one. We're using the new one. They've come out with an Amaro Georgiano. And we got stuff on the back to read. It's long. This is a story. This is a story. It's an herbal liqueur. If you've never had an Amaro, it's an herbal liqueur. But specifically, this Amaro is made from ingredients in Georgia. Now, also, I want to preface this with, we actually went to one of the launch events for this. It was a garden party, so to speak. And they made cocktails with it, and those cocktails were delicious. I guess I can read some of this. This is a lot, so I won't read the whole thing. But it says, Simple Man Distillery partners with local growers to produce innovative, world-class farm-to-grass spirits. Knowing this, the Michelin Award Porchetta Group was looking for a locally sourced Amaro that would satisfy their famous passion for Digestivo born of Italian origin. The gauntlet was thrown and Simple Man Distillery accepted the challenge. I would love to read the rest of this. And I know I said I wasn't going to, but I'm going to. Just a few miles down the road, Kenyatta Mincy Parker saw a need for bartenders and hospitality folks to get out in the sunshine and fresh air. This led to a Sip of Paradise Garden, a nonprofit community garden which provides horticultural therapy, employment resources, and health and wellness programs for bartenders in the greater hospitality community to recharge their minds, bodies, and spirits. Kenyatta needed help, and Rory Robinson and Stephanie Saputo answered the call. Simple Man Distillery reached out to see if they could grow botanicals to create this Amaro. Not only was there a resounding yes, but they lent their years of bartending experience to start playing, experimenting, and blending locally grown botanicals to get started. After many attempts of finessing and fine-tuning, an Amaro was born, showcasing Georgia-grown flowers, roots, and other botanicals, bringing big smiles over a glass of Amaro Georgiano. A portion of proceeds will go to benefit a Sip of Paradise Garden. Now, if you've also been watching us for a long time, you've noticed that we've also talked about, especially during the pandemic, support for service workers, particularly bartenders, people in the restaurant industry, people in the bartending and liquor industry and things like that. So this was also right up our alley. Now, we aren't going to do a tasting of this on here. Actually, we can. I don't care. Because we actually went to the tasting, so we already know our thoughts. But you guys are probably gonna want our thoughts. Plus, we already opened this bottle, so you know we sipped on this already. You know what? Yeah, we won't consider this a tasting. We're gonna consider this a pre-game.
I'll go ahead and pour a little bit in this glass, and you can
exactly. We'll consider it a pre-game.
give your thoughts on the flavors going on in there before we get going on this drink.
I instantly get Fernet vibes off the rip, just off the smell alone. Fernet, but it's familiar in the Fernet, but then it adds its own uniqueness. Here we go. It's like a sweeter Fernet. I get we talked about this when we went to the tasting last week. think you mentioned you got chocolate out of this, and I didn't, but now I am getting chocolate notes.
So I can tell you, you are right about the Fernet, but heavy Fernet vibes on the smell. And I don't understand why we didn't clock that at the tasting.
Yeah.
But I know for me, it is sweet. You do get chocolate notes. I get spicy, peppery notes as well. And herbal notes as well. Like nowhere near as strong and bitter as the Fernet. But those herbal notes are there. I feel like the peppery spice gives it a unique flavor in and of itself, and allows it to pop in any cocktail that this is made from. So
It's actually one of the things I really liked about it is because, like, you know how they say Fernet is an acquired, it's an acquired taste. Like you either, like, whenever we introduce people to Fernet, that mouth turn up that first time,
and then we're like, you gotta get used to it.
Exactly. And one of the things about Fernet is that it's bitter. This is like a sweet Fernet, like it marries both worlds. But that's enough of that.
So the cocktail I am conducting, I'm gonna do my own version of a tea, of a alcoholic tea, as it were. Usually, like it's a bourbon tea or whatever, because you know what they say, like sweet tea can go well with whiskey, particularly bourbon. So I'm gonna do my own version of that, a peach tea, a bourbon peach tea. I'm gonna do a 1/2 ounce of this. I'm also, for my whiskey, I'm going to use Uncle Nearest. I felt like this would give it a great taste. So I'm going to say this in regards to this particular recipe. Your mileage will vary, because if you want to use a different whiskey than this, go ahead, you can, especially if you think it will go well with the sweet tea you want to use. I'm using Uncle Nearest. Usually when you do spiked teas, bourbon is the way to go. So if you want to get a traditional bourbon, go ahead. If you want to do rye, go ahead. Like experiment. There's no limit to what you can do. And I will argue the only thing that doesn't change from this particular recipe would be the Amaro. This particular Amaro, because we are making, the point is to make the drink with this Amaro. So I did 1.5 ounces of this, a 1/2 ounce of this. I did the juice of 1/2 a lime. You can go a 1/2 ounce of lime. If you want, because this is gonna be a bourbon peach tea, you can take a couple of slices of peaches and add some sugar and muddle it in your tin before you start pouring the ingredients. I'm not gonna do that, particularly because when I did my testing of this drink, I found that I didn't need to do that. And so we're gonna take that, everything that I just said, we're gonna put it in the tin and we're gonna shake. So while I get the ice, I'm gonna run some footage of the tasting event that we went to launch this, the launching. I'm gonna run footage of that, so you guys enjoy.
My name is Kiata Mency Parker. I'm the founder and executive director of A Sip of Paradise Garden. So welcome to Paradise. Welcome to Paradise. Thank you so much. A Sip of Paradise Garden is something that was started in January of 2020. We are a nonprofit bartenders hospitality community garden that serves the Atlanta community today, but we're destined to take over the world.
Kiata Mency Parker, she created this garden that we're talking in today. and they grow botanicals, and they grow vegetables and fruits, and they help people in hospitality who never get out of work until the sun's coming up. Perfection, I don't think exists, but I always believe in the pursuit of it. I want to show what growers and farmers, as part of Simple Man, do in our backyard. And we don't grow all the botanicals here, but we do grow some botanicals in this Amaro here.
We just wanted to create something that was like what Georgia would drink if Georgia made an Amaro.
The produce that Georgia farmers make are so amazing, they just shine through. You can't hide it.
You're gonna take your ½ ounce of lemon, or juice of half a lemon, your ½ ounce of the beer Amaro, and your 1.5 ounces of the Uncle Nearest. You're gonna put it in a tin with ice, shake it. You're gonna strain into a vessel with ice in it. And then here's where the rest of this comes together. You're gonna get your tea. Now, I did a peach tea. Mm-hmm. You can do regular sweet tea. Mm-hmm. I did sweet peach tea. Mm-hmm. How you come to that conclusion, you know, is up to you. Everybody has different recipes of how they make peach tea. You're gonna top this with peach tea, about 2 to 4 ounces, depending on your vessel. Mm-hmm. Then garnish this, because I feel the best garnish for this would be a slice of peach and a cherry. Have a name for this? The Georgiano peach tea. Georgiano peach tea. Okay. Let's give it a little taste. Sour notes from the lemon. The Uncle Nearest is blending well with the Amaro. And the peach is in there. I mean, it's barely in there, but it's there. Not that there's anything wrong with this, but this almost comes off like a whiskey sour type situation. I mean, kind of, yeah. I can see a lot of people thinking it's a whiskey sour. But that's one of the reasons why I said that that, you know, depending on how you do it, the flavor could vary. It could be a little sweeter. It could be less sweet. What's the sweetness on that? Not very sweet. Like I said, I could see people thinking this is a whiskey sour. It's more tart than sweet. Okay. So that all comes down to your sweet tea. The sweet tea that you make or use with it. Also, if you want to do that muddle with the, but it is really good. I get the Amaro. I get the Uncle Nearest. The peach, just a touch of peach. This could stand to be muddled. To have a couple of slices and some sugar and muddle. But it's not necessary. You're gonna get your sweetness, the majority of your sweetness from the tea, and surprisingly from this. You can get some peaches and muddle, peaches and sugar and muddle if you wanted a little sweeter or a little more peachy, but as it is, this is fine. I do like the fact that you can get a whiskey sour vibe from it. That lets you know that, you know, the flavors, in other words, like the drink treads on familiar territory. So I guess I can explain what I did for a sweet tea. I just made regular sweet tea, but instead of sugar, I made a syrup, a peach syrup, by, you know, chopping up some peaches, putting them in a pan, putting some sugar in the pan, a little bit of water, and letting it cook and simmer for a while until I got a syrupy substance or whatever. If you want to strain the syrup from the solids, by all means. I did that a little bit, and then I just said fuck it and blended the peaches in a blender, blended the concoction in a blender, and, you know, I got a syrup out of it, and then just put that into the unsweetened tea that I had, stirred it, and that's how I got the peach tea.
Right. And you add a little sugar, if I remember correct.
Just to, you know, fortify the sweetness.
This is good though. Got some sophistication to it as well.
Because in essence, you want to taste the liquor. You want to taste the mixture of the liquor and the other ingredients together without it being clouded.
You know what I would do too? This is alternative. As a matter of fact, I would say both of these answers are right. Because me and you talked earlier about glass game. I will also serve this Collins glass rectangular ice cube.
Not a bad idea.
Check this out. Start mixing. It's delicious. And naturally check us out. Come back next time for our next episode. In case you haven't gotten a hint yet, that will be this episode of Drink Tales. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit us up on all our platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Are we on anything else? I think that's it. I know we've been away for a minute, but you know,
A lot of traveling and vacation.
doing a lot of traveling. We've been supplementing with TikToks though. I don't know if y'all been seeing the TikToks.
And we'll continue to do that. So, you know.
Yeah, check us out. I put out a new TikTok every Monday. So check us out. But that'll do it for this episode of Drink Tales, everyone. And until next time, peace.